All right, guys, we are live. We are live and direct from my warehouse. First of all, I want to say a very big shout out to all of you that actually went to rewatch, the video, the live video I made yesterday. It was a success. I'm kind of blown away because the video pretty much blew up, In my own situation, when my videos get anything above, 50 views, that is blowing up for me. And that video, I'm just going to take a look at what views the video has amassed up till this time. This was a live video I made yesterday, and for one reason or the other, YouTube kind of did its magic. This video right now is sitting at 594 views. As if that's not enough, I got pretty much over 13 comments. This is a humble, milestone, but for me, it's very, very important because I have constantly been looking for ways to try to interact with my subscribers, people that are interested in like flipping PCs, or even if you are interested in reselling generally. I've always been looking for a way, to get to know you guys. I've been posting a lot of videos. It didn't seem to be cutting it, but luckily I did a live stream that people came out pretty much from all their hiding places. They were commenting. I got about 22 likes, which is kind of something very, very strange. So I felt like, okay, today I am going to do it again. But this time around, I'm also going to tell you something that might just help you to make up your mind, all right? I do not have a lot of time, like I explained, in my previous live videos. I am, going live from my warehouse. Whenever I have something in my head and I feel like I want to, talk it over with somebody, instead of making a dedicated video, I just want to go ahead and just switch on the camera on, go live, talk to you about it. So it's not going to be an endless live stream. It's going to be a very short live stream just to, let you guys know what I'm thinking about. So it might be like 10 minutes, it might be like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, doesn't matter. But if I have people asking questions, definitely I am going to kind of stick around here. But for now, we do not have anybody watching, but it doesn't stop me from giving you the value that I would like to share, because I understand that definitely there's going to be somebody out there that's going to see this video tomorrow, going to look at it, watch it over and definitely get some value out of this video. Guys, if you are still sitting on the fence, I want to tell you, if you are still sitting on the fence about, trying to flip pieces for profit, you are still not so sure if it's something you want to do, I want to tell you, this might very well be the best time for you, to begin to take some steps, some actions, all right? This might just be the very best time because in case you didn't know, Microsoft, any moment from now, they're going to be stopping, support for Windows 10. So what that means is that you're not going to be getting Windows, 10 updates. Security updates is pretty much going to go away. If you have a Windows 10 PC, this is what Microsoft has said, and I think that should actually take effect in about a few weeks. Let me just be sure about that. Windows 10 support. And I'm just going to be sure about, you see, October 14, 2025 is the day that Windows 10 support will officially end from Microsoft. What that means is that a lot of people are going to begin to think about, upgrading to Windows 11. There comes the catch, because not all PCs that currently run Windows 10 can actually allow you install Windows 11. So because of that, people are going to just suddenly find out that, look, the PC that they have been using all along, that have been working very well for them, suddenly cannot install Windows 11. There's many reasons for that. It might be that a PC doesn't support TPM 2.0. It might also be a processor bottleneck on the PC that a lot of people are currently running. And like, when people hear that their operating system is not going to be supported, it's not going to receive security updates, they want to panic. They want to look for how they can possibly, get rid of that PC and get a PC that will enable them get Windows 11 so that they can continue to enjoy, the protection that Microsoft gives in terms of, security patches for Windows 11. People just want to be on the safe side. Organizations are going to be making plans to roll out their old PCs. If an organization is currently running a PC right now that doesn't allow, them to upgrade to Windows 11, they are definitely going to, push all those PCs out. if a lot of small businesses, private homes, they are running PCs that cannot enable them operate on Windows 11, they are definitely going to be pushing those PCs out. And those PCs, guys, they're going to be falling in the secondary market just like eBay. People are going to be selling their stuff for cheap, because when people get new stuff, most times, I'm talking about the private homes now, private people, when they get new items, most times they are not so keen on selling the old device so expensive, especially when they hear that, look, this device is no longer supported. It cannot be used to run Windows 11. Don't get me wrong, there is still a way for you to actually go ahead and install Windows 11 even on an unsupported hardware. I'm talking about that. There are some people, I understand that they want to stay clean. They do not want to cut corners. Whenever Microsoft has said, look, this device, because of the TPM that's missing, because of the processor that doesn't support Windows 11, a lot of people will just say, you know what, I want to get the hardware that will enable me run Windows 11 without any kind of problems. What am I talking about? This is going to be a time where there's going to be a surge in the demand for desktop PCs. Generally, not only desktop PCs, laptops, all manner of desktop PCs, small form factor PCs, mini PCs. There is just going to be, this is in my own estimation, because whenever any kind of update like this is going to roll out, whenever there's a major change, especially as regards operating systems change or outrightly stopping support, there is always going to be a surge in the demand for desktop PCs, because there are going to be people that are going to say, look, I've had my PC for a very, very long time. I think now it's just the time for me to go ahead and change it. I've had it for years. I do not think I want to continue to hold on to this PC, especially given the fact that Microsoft is saying, look, we're not going to support this operating system anymore. Anytime from the 14th of October 2025, you're not going to enjoy security updates, and because of that, people are going to just naturally think about buying new PCs. So what does that mean for you? If you are thinking right now, I don't want to do this business when nobody's going to, when the demand is not so high for the products, where people are not going to be, needing these PCs, this might be the best time for you to now see, because you are actually coming into the business, or you will be coming to the business at a point where there's going to be a very, very high demand for these devices. Look, right now, I'm not saying that it's already happening, but I kind of noticed, some extraordinary behavior in my orders. In the last 2 weeks, I have sold quite a lot of desktop PCs. I don't know if it's not connected, to this, this deadline that Microsoft has given, which is October 14th. But I kind of found out that people are buying my PCs, especially the ones that have Windows 11 installed on them. They are buying it. And even today, I have also sold like 2 pieces already. Yesterday, we sold a Lenovo ThinkCentre, M710 that also had a Windows 11 Pro installed on it. And it just keeps going on and on and on. I would not be surprised if anytime from now, going into October, there is just a high demand of this hardware. See, if you have the possibility to get these hardware, this might be the best time for you, to go onto a functional website. I keep saying a functional website because not all platforms will guarantee you, traffic. When I refer to a platform as being functional, I'm pretty much talking about eBay, a platform where you are going to put your item there and the item is going to get people looking at it. In other words, it's going to get eyeballs, because if your offers don't get eyeballs, I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, it's going to be hard, very, very hard to sell those offers. But then now that the platform is going to be getting an extraordinary, high amount of visitors, eyeballs, you might want to go ahead and set up your offer. You might just be a lucky individual that has a very good contact within an organization, and you are able to get these devices for cheap. This might be the best time you want to list them. Of course, there are still people that will still stick on to the Windows 10, because not everybody will be able to afford the 8th Gen Intel Core i7 or the 8th Gen Intel Core i5 PCs. They are still very expensive. I'm not going to lie. Yes, some of them might be cheap, but for you, cheap, I always say, cheap is relative. Something that's like 250 euros for one person here might be different for somebody else. 250 euro might just be a budget that is just out of reach for somebody else. Because that people are still going to continue to buy, the Windows 10 PCs. I'm talking about the Intel, 4th gen, 5th gen, 6th gen, and a little bit of the 7th gen. Maybe not 7th gen, the 6th gen Intel Core i5 and the Core i7. People are still going to be upgrading to these PCs. So if you are kind of strategically positioned, you have the possibility to get some of these PCs that are going to be rolled out in the next coming months. You can get them in. Perhaps you have a contact person in a big organization, and you're able to get 50, 100 pieces of these PCs. You can easily bring them to a platform like eBay and sell them for pretty much decent price. Like I said, even though Windows 11 is the in thing, there are still people that are still coming from, very, very ancient PCs. People are still going to be coming from the Core i3 PCs, the Core i3 third generation. But if an organization is actually rolling out the 6th gen, Core i5s, and you are able to get them and bring them to a platform like eBay, there are going to be people that will come from the Core i3 generation and say, look, I want to upgrade my PC, but I'm not ready to buy the Intel 8th gen PCs. I still can go ahead and buy the 4th gen or the 5th gen or the 6th gen PCs. And this is where your offer is going to be getting eyeballs and you're going to be making sales. But then if you are able to do the big boy stuff, which is you are able to actually go ahead and get responsible, 8th gen Core i5, Core i7 PCs, even the Core i3 PCs, and you list them in this time, given that there's going to be, the possibility of a very high demand for these hardwares, you are going to be able to just slide into this business. Yes, it's not going to be a bed of roses. There's still going to be some challenges here and there, because it's a new endeavor that you are about to start. But then, guys, if I tell you this, take it from me, there's going to definitely be, an increase in demand for desktop PCs. Look, people, I don't get it twisted. I hear people talking about Linux. People don't want to use Intel or whatever, Windows. Guys, they are still like loyal fans to Windows 11, Windows 10, Windows 11, whatever Microsoft bring. There are still a lot of people that want to, just use this product. Matter of fact, I don't have the data, but I want to imagine that the operating system that still enjoys the better or the greatest share of the market is still, Windows 11, Windows 10. Windows 11 is just about, going to make a very bigger, kind of get a very bigger reach now, because as soon as Windows 10 is phased out, not like it's going to be phased out, but you're not just going to get updates that you used to get, talking about you switch on your PC and it tells you that the Windows is updating, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to be getting all that. And nobody wants to use a PC, especially when Microsoft tells you that this PC doesn't have any security patches or security updates. If you are joining the stream, please let me know in the comment section. Just write me something. If you can hear me, I would like to know where you are watching from. Give me a shout out. I'm just going to go here and say hello, guys, because there's nobody watching now, but of course, I know somebody's going to join us soon. And as soon as somebody joins in, ask me any question that you want clarification about, and I should be able to, share my 2 cents, throw some light on the things, especially if you sell desktop PCs. But then if you are just a reseller, you do not sell desktop PCs, but then you have, some questions that might be bordering on these categories, go ahead and ask me, and the ones I can answer, I should be able to do justice to it. But like I was saying, guys, I want to imagine that in the coming months, we are right now in September, just the 5th of September. I want to imagine that in the coming months, there's going to be, not even the coming months, in the coming weeks, and thereafter in the coming months, there's going to be a surge in demand for desktop PCs. Yes, the reason is not far-fetched. The fact that Microsoft is going to stop, updating Windows 10 Pro, Windows 10 Home, definitely there is going to be people that's going to say, you know what, this is the best time for me to turn to Windows 11. And because the system doesn't support it, because the processor on his or her PCs doesn't support the upgrades of Windows 11, they are going to be changing over. They're going to be trying to buy new PCs. And when people want to buy PCs, the first thing they want to look at is they want to take a look at what eBay is offering. They want to see if they're going to be good offers on eBay. And guys, let me tell you, there's definitely going to be good offers on eBay. There's no day, there's just no one good, offer on eBay, on desktop PCs, on laptops. People like you and I are actually responsible for doing this. The people that go all out looking for where the good offers are, and when they find it, they buy it and they bring it onto a platform like eBay, and it is going to be sold because this method of making money has been proven to work, and it will continue to work in 2025 and beyond, which is you go out there, look for a very decent PC, especially a PC that the market wants. You bring them home, you clean them up, test them that they are in very good condition, and then you go ahead to list them on this platform. eBay will do their job, and their job in this case is to make sure that they connect potential buyers to your offer. And if you have listed the right items, definitely eBay is not going to disappoint you. At least for me, they haven't disappointed me. Yes, there's going to be some months or some weeks where things don't just work properly, but give and take, there's going to be your eyeballs falling on your offers on every given day. And if you have done your due diligence to ensure that you've gotten the best price, you have the best item there, the item doesn't have terrible signs of use, terrible scratches here and there, the item is definitely going to be sold. This is what it is. The business model is not complicated, but you just have to be available. You have to have an eye for quality. You have to be ready to put in the work. But then one way that you get motivated to work, because I understand that there are certain people that if there's no motivation, if they do not see any slightest sign that their product will be needed or be bought, they don't want to take action. Sometimes people need some form of conviction that, look, this thing I'm about to do is going to work. And the conviction I bring you today is that, look, there's going to be a surge in the demand for desktop PCs. Yes, I'm taking a look at the internet. I'm not really seeing people talking about this, but guys, believe me when I tell you, there's going to be definitely a surge in the demand for desktop PCs. When Microsoft also stopped, the support for Windows 7, when we were moving up to Windows 10, it was the same thing. People started changing their PCs. They didn't want to use the same PCs that were already running Windows 7 for so long. They wanted to get new PCs to run Windows 10. And now the same thing is about to happen again. Definitely, there are going to be people that will be demanding or be needing new laptops. Not new like new, but I mean used, clean, good condition laptops. There are going to be people that will be demanding or be needing, new desktop PCs. Once again, not new like new, used desktop PCs, but in very, very, good, perhaps new condition. There are going to be people that will be demanding all this stuff. And if you want to position yourself as one of the, a flipper of PCs, this might just be the best time to do that, because if the market is saying to you, we have a lot of people wanting to buy this stuff, you can actually go ahead, put your product there, and eBay, one thing I have noticed, eBay doesn't care if you are a new seller or an old seller. The main thing that determines whether you get traffic or not is the kind of item that you're selling and the price point in which you are bringing that item to the market. If the price point is right and the item that you are bringing to the market, eBay have already said, look, this item, we need it. We have done our test on this item. We see that when each time this item is listed, people want to jump on it, people want to see it. eBay is going to give your item traffic. It doesn't matter if your account is just a 2 weeks old account or an aged account. It doesn't matter in this case. All that matters is that, look, you have an item that the market wants, and the price point in which you are offering that item is actually very, very excellent. You're going to get traffic. And as soon as you get traffic, you are going to be surprised how beautiful this model of business can actually be. Because yes, you never can tell. Some of you might have some kind of unfair advantages. An unfair advantage, guys, is what I call, perhaps somebody in a big organization, you have a very good contact person there, and the person has given you an insider tip that, look, we are going to be rolling out 50 PCs. We're going to be rolling out 200 PCs. We've got laptops to roll out. They've not even put the offer on the internet, and you are just lucky to be around. You know who is in charge of that stuff, and then you can actually say, look, I am interested because I just want to have these items for myself. And then they go ahead, they make you a very good deal. You will be amazed how you can actually turn around and flip those pieces. Come to think of it, this was one of the ways I also got into flipping these pieces. Long time ago, I mean, I got into this business in a very different way. Sometimes I was just kind of inquisitive about, buying and selling stuff. I started picking up used item. Then gradually I started getting to know people. Once on different occasions, I had the opportunity of being the first person to, see an offer that hasn't been listed on the internet, quickly bought them and brought them in. And sometimes I also had the opportunity of bringing an item at the point where there was a major demand for a particular kind of item. There was a time tablets were just, becoming a thing. And I also was able to get some tablets back in the days, and I was able to sell them. Whenever anything is trendy, this is the best time to actually go ahead and take advantage of the market, because very soon everybody's going to pretty much have a PC that uses Windows 11, and then demand is going to be a little bit, regularized again. It's not going to be over the roof. But right now, as soon as people, as soon as Microsoft is going to stop, the support for Windows 10, this is talking about in just a few weeks, October 14th, people are going to suddenly realize that, look, I do not have a PC that is able to run Windows 11. I think I want one. My son doesn't have, a PC that's able to run Windows 11. I think I want to upgrade the PC in his room. I think I want to upgrade the PC in my work room. I think I want to get my wife a new laptop for Christmas because I want her laptop to be able to run Windows 11. This is going to be the thinking on the mind of so many people. And the more people are thinking in this direction, money is going to begin to change hands. They're going to go to eBay, the biggest platform where you can actually get to buy used, desktop PCs, used laptop, used monitors. And the beautiful thing is that when people are changing their desktop PCs, sometimes they even want to go ahead and change their monitors as well. They want to change their keyboards. They want to change their mouse. So there's just going to be a lot of things going on. I see you, Jaquito. Glad to have you around. You are the first person that is joining the stream. I really do appreciate your sticking around. Where are you watching from? I will be happy to know that. Just put me in the chat section. Let me know where you're watching from. And you actually did write something where it starts. I really don't know exactly what you mean, but I'm just going to pin your message so that others can also see it where it starts. I'm talking about, Microsoft stopping support for Windows 10. It's actually the official date given here is October 14th, 2025. So in about a few weeks from now, let's just say about 5 weeks, your Windows 10 is not going to get, Microsoft support anymore. You see, that means that they will no longer provide security updates for your Windows 10. Of course, I'm not a security expert. I do not know what exactly that means, but what I do know is that, look, every now and again, Microsoft tends to bring out updates for the operating system. And sometimes these updates are meant to fix certain things. Maybe there are some things that are not working on the operating system. There are some security lapses here and there. These updates are supposed to, fix them and make sure that the operating system that you are using is actually, updated, able to withstand any kind of, glitches here and there, or even able to, prevent people from attacking your system through some of the lapses in this operating system. But these updates are very, very important. But then if Microsoft is saying that, look, Windows 10 has come a long way, we have actually had enough. Right now we have Windows 11, and we want to actually, kind of make people migrate to Windows 11. Because of that, we do not want to provide support anymore for Windows 10. People are naturally going to realize that some PCs that they have that currently runs Windows 11, Windows 10, will not be able to run Windows 11. And because of that, they might want to look up to a platform like eBay to try to see how they can get better PCs with TPM 2.0, PC that have the right processor to be able to install Windows 11 flawlessly. I'm saying flawlessly because there are so many workaround to install Windows 11. But if you want to have a PC that will flawlessly install Windows 11, there's actually a list of processors that Microsoft has said, yes, these processors officially support Windows 11. And most of these PCs you can actually find on eBay. So if you are thinking of going into flipping PCs for profit or flipping PCs for whatever reason, this might be the best time, because there's definitely going to be an increase in the demand for desktop PCs as more and more people are seeing or taking a look at the fact that they do not have the PC that is ready to go with the installation of Windows 11. They are going to look up to eBay or any other, comparable platform. Some of them are going to look up to Amazon. Of course, there are eBay people, there are Amazon people. Some are going to look, up to eBay and think of buying used PCs. And if you have the opportunity of getting, very good inventories, good desktop PCs, especially the 8-core Intel the 8th gen Intel Core i5 or the Intel Core i7, this might be the best time for you to go ahead and start to dabble into these, areas of flipping PCs for profit. Personally, I do feel it's a very, very, good a category to sell in. I have made money flipping PCs for profit. Of course, there's a lot of work. The learning curve might be a little bit very steep, but if you, just like every other business, if you are patient about things and you are ready to put in the work, you might be surprised where it might lead you to. It might lead you to unlock so many things that you didn't even know was possible. It might lead you, to unlock so many other business or income generating ventures, because right now, people's ideas about making money are so limited. Some people just feel like you can only make money, working traditional job, working a 9-to-5 job. Some people think that you can only make money just, flipping, selling, driving for Uber or stuff like that, or doing Airbnb. I'm telling you guys, the eBay that you hear about every day, there are people there that sell 20, 30 computers every given day. There are people there. Of course, you might not sell 20 computers every given day, but then if you are able to sell 2 or 3 computers and you are making decent profit, like 60 euros. I live in Germany, so we use euros here. 60 euros per PC that you sell. Selling 3 computers a day is not a bad hustle. I'm not saying that you might just set out and do it full time right from the go. It's something that you can actually, gradually transition into. You could transition into a full-time seller. But the thing is, this business model makes money. There's a lot of work to be done. And if you are willing to put in the work, you can definitely, make some money. So this is the kind of video or the idea that came to me today, and I felt like I could quickly knock that off in a live stream. Unfortunately, we do not have anybody on the live stream right now. We used to have a guy, I don't know, a girl, sorry if I'm wrong about that, forgive me. Jaquito, let me know where you're watching from. I will be glad to, find that out. I am here in Germany and I send you greetings. You do not have any profile pictures, so I really cannot see anything. But then, thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate you for stopping by. Let me know if you are into flipping PCs for profit. And if you've got questions, feel free to write me in the comment section. Go to my Instagram page at Hardware Money, or go to my community page on eBay, on YouTube. I keep saying eBay because my head is only about eBay, selling stuff on eBay. See, go to the community section of my YouTube page, leave me a comment, leave me a question. I will be glad to answer it. Until I see you again in the next stream or in the next video. Peace out.